it's Dan here, Tunley Model Rays. Hope you're all okay. Just thought I'd do a little update really. We're now in October. It's been obviously quite a weird year full stop, isn't it really? But just thought I'd do a little bit of a workshop tour, what I'm up to, things I've got, in the pipeline sort of to come. So we'll start off, we'll sort of take a bit of a step back. So this is my workshop. It is a bit of a triangle sort of shape, so it's sort of 15 foot long, 15 foot wide, and sort of about 5 foot at the other end where the little quarry is, sort of there really. So we'll sort of have a bit of a wander around, see what's about. So on a nice hello. On a nice day, you've got a nice view of the fields, bits and bobs, which is always quite nice. Sort of sat on a bench, working away, watching the world go by. So I had 9 foot corn for ages. They just cut the corn the other day, and they've just sort of ploughed and seeded it again now. So I've got a view at least for winter for now. So we'll sort of have a wander around. So we'll go up here first of all. So start off with Little Quarry. Obviously, Little Quarry was in Model Rail magazine not so long ago. So we'll have a good look around. So with Little Quarry, it is a BB018 baseboard, I believe. One from Justin from Scale Model Sceneries. Well, started off originally. I then added a top section, which I used to, yeah, it still does, lifts off. So it's easy for sort of transport. Originally it was just built really for me and my daughter to play with, but then it got a bit, well, I got carried away really. Way too much detail, way too much fragile stuff, so it became another one of Daddy's Railways really. But yeah, just a little bit of an end of a quarry, so a little workshop which is scratch built. So there are other videos I think, so we won't go into too much detail really about it. But again, this is DC. Eventually I will change over to DCC. Again with the traverse system there, and the controller, well, it's built into here, so it's all basically one unit. It's literally to pick it up, walk away, plug it in, and we play with it again at a later date. So that's Little Quarry. We also have Tunnel Lane, which for people who sort of follow me from the start, this is where it all started. So this is sort of, well, was my baby really. Again, it was featured in Model Rail not so long ago in their bookazine edition, which is quite nice to sort of see the photographs finally. Obviously photographs by Chris Nifar, and they are awesome, as always with him. My plan is at some point is to dig this out. There's 2 boards, it's at 8 foot, I think sort of see, yeah, it's around here, this is the back of it. It's 8 foot long by 18 inches wide, I think it was. A little sort of country scene. So at some point I want to refurb all this, go back through it. Since I sort of built this, to be honest with you, my skills have become a lot more better, and my knowledge has become a lot better as well. So the things I want to redo, sort of revisit it really, and just give a bit of a refresh. So that's something to sort of do shortly. What else we got? Okay, so we've got Barmus, which is obviously work in progress. It's done as far as I can at the moment. I'm just waiting now for some bits to be posted up to me so I can do the ballasting, and I think we are pretty much there, ready to go. Maybe a few little things to glue down. Is that I think I've got to glue the little fruit machine, which are currently on the platform. The fruit machine's down properly, and then sort of photograph it more professional, not just on my phone when I'm finished. This has been a great little build. Well, I say little, not really little. It started off as a little build, and then we kept adding more and more to it. Yeah, I really enjoyed building this. It still is enjoyable. A lot of scratch building, which has pushed my skills up a notch from scratch building. I've never really done that much before, so building that hotel was definitely a learning curve. The Little Mona Calf, again, that was take 2. I think the original is, well, yeah, the original's hanging up in the roof there somewhere, just to remind me how not to do it. Obviously bits and bobs there, intense show, laser cut bits and bobs. So yeah, no, it's been a labour of love, definitely. It will be sad to see this go, but I need the space. So so that's that one there. So another little thing I sort of do many moons ago was military modelling, all different scales, different sorts. Just like to build, I liked building model tanks and stuff and buildings and all the stuff. But the trouble was I built them too fast and I was just running out of space. So they started off quite big and then started getting quite small little scenes, purely just because I didn't have the space for them really. I enjoy building them, but they don't move, so I got bored. So I thought, right, we'll do railways because it's a bit more interactive, or the wiring side of things, all sorts. And I quite enjoy like the railway history as well. So that's quite interesting to learn about stuff that you're building. You know, I learned with Barmus, I've learned loads about Barmus. I've never been there, so you know, but you know, I'm quite familiar now with the place via Google Map and obviously photographs. So I find it interesting learning about the places as well as I'm making it. So there we go. So we're going to the top, have a little quick look. Again, a couple of scratch built, I suppose, scratch build bridge. Poor old Vulcan there. So that was like an old Airfix kit, which was just huge and really crap made, honestly, all raised power lines and stuff like that. I think it was like a 50s or 60s kit, or maybe a bit later, but it wasn't a particularly very good model. So it had its wings chopped because it's just huge. Really crappy tank in the background with a really badly painted building. So there we go. Things do get better if you try. So there's that one there. This one's quite a cool one. So this is quite big. This one is obviously it's 1/35 scale, so it's quite, you know, quite big. You sort of see my hand. So the buildings here, they're all scratch built. So these were individual pieces of cork stuck on one by one on the building. So all full interior, all blown into bits inside. So there's a bank of some sorts. Obviously the guys with the Shermans bombing through the town, and the one wall fell over, and the vicar there. Yeah, maybe one day we'll do a separate video for all these. There's loads. I got carried away with lots of bits and bobs really. So there's that one there. So next stage really, or next point of interest I suppose, is the wall. So originally this building was going to be a summer house. That's how I pitched it to my wife. So I was allowed to build it. It was never going to be a summer house. It was always going to be my man cave. Yeah, so this wall here actually flips up and drops down, so you have a massive sort of 6 foot square opening, top and bottom, and you can walk out almost like a stage really. So you can sit there with a glass of wine or beer and watch the sun go by. However, nowadays it's now another building area really. Nice sort of waist height area to work. It's currently got Lopes Road, which is another commission I've got to build at some point. Tucked underneath there, so there's Tim Horn's really nice baseboards. So I use this table predominantly for photographing, and just say it's a nice height to just work it. So I built Albury and Weymouth were built on top of here as well. So that's quite nice. So this is the little diorama I was photographing the other night, with Tencho's little shed. It's yeah. Just built for fun really, just fun. But at some point what I want to do is take this hut back off this base and stick it on my Tunnel Lane layout. But just for now I wanted to put in something, so we did that. And obviously the Hornby Rushton is just temporarily covered in snow just for effect. And then because I don't really have many trains going, because I just haven't got time to play trains and build railways. So just because I can, really, we have a back and forth line on a DC even set up little shuttle system, and goes back and forth as it pleases when it wants to really. So that's quite good. What else we got? We've got the little scene there from Tencio. Obviously paints. So paints predominantly are Tamiya and Vallejo. Range of brushes, cheap ones, expensive ones, all sorts really. All do the same thing pretty much. Paints again, I use a lot of acrylics from the range. They're cheap, to be honest with you. They're £2.50 for a tube of that, and it's like £2.50 or £3 for a Tamiya pot. They obviously go a long way. And to be honest with you, those 3 or 4 colours, or 5 colours there, actually do an awful lot of stuff with those. They just seem to be the right kind of colours to have. So we've got a buff, a grey, a burnt umber and sienna, and it just seems to work quite well. So obviously the workbench, which is well and truly being worked on. Bits and bobs. So you got these. This is quite good for rusting and stuff like this. I'm using this. It's actually called Rusted. I bought these years ago, and they're just quite nice together. It's just like I think it's just a thick emulsion, if I'm honest, really. But they obviously put it in their own tubs and charge you quite a lot for it. But yeah, that's quite good stuff. A couple of big pigments there. We have my little box of bits and bobs. We have some Model U stuff, bits and bobs. It's off cut to track. I must say, I'm a terrible hoarder. I don't throw anything away. Lights from layouts for you. Got loads of those to go on Tunnel Lane, so they'll be quite nice at some point. Looking forward to putting them on there. What else we got? Some fish plates, more lights. Yeah, all sorts in there, really. All sorts. What else we got? We got Justin's cardboard factories. One day I'll do a little scene with it. That took me ages to build that, so I'm bugging if I'm not going to use it. So online. general sort of just stuff. Obviously the motor calf, which is from there to over there. So that was quite cool. Bring that alive. So yeah, really, just lots of people give me lots of like the old Hornby stuff, or locos and stuff like that. So I don't really know what to do with them. So I just kind of put them on display. So we have a few just sat there gathering dust. So obviously we've got the shelves over here, which are predominantly stock or thereabouts. So we're pretty much borderline a model shop nowadays. But I think learning from the lockdown, we ran out of stuff and it comes to a bit of a halt. So now I have plenty of stuff, so there's no chance of that happening again. So we've got stuff for Lopes Road. Another customer got bits and bobs for, well, actually two there. They've got these buildings, and these are built from Fair Price Models, which I've got to send back at some point. Again, there's three, another one behind as well yet. More stock, a bit of Backman, a couple of dead locos, brand new NC power cab to use at some point when I get a chance. We've got a bit of clay, obviously got the, if I get bored, got the TV, we've got Freeview and all that lots and stuff like that, and obviously photographs rolling around, so it's quite good to have a look at. Get sidetracked with a section of grasses, most of it is WWS stuff, quite happy with what their products, flocks and all sorts, stones and gravel, so like this, so can we see this? This, believe it or not, is from the River Wye, which we live near to. Was there with my daughter and my wife, and thought, oh, that's some good stuff. So I've grabbed one of her poo bags, filled it full of stone off the side of the river, dried it, sieved it, and it looks, I think, quite nice for ballast. So we shall give that a whirl, and obviously it's free, which is lovely. Selection of glues, all sorts there, from MEK to PVA. Thinners and paints, Pritt sticks galore. Pritt sticks are always good for doing the paper wraps on the MDF buildings. Seems to work really well. Obviously card glues and super glues. What else we got there? So you got stuff for Lopes Road there. So with the Oxford die-cast buildings, and also the Backman stuff as well. So that will save a little bit of build time. Some of my stuff down there. All sorts really, trees and bushes and rubberized horsehair over there. So I'll go over here again. So this is the turntable for Tunnel Lane that I sort of started and never finished. So I want to change that again. I need to get hold of Tim Horn, and I need a perfect circle cutout. I used a jigsaw and one eye, and it's round but not perfectly round. So that's something I need to address and have a look at some point. Again, so I've got loads of stuff. I've got too much stuff on probably, really, I think, but never mind. Up here we've got stuff then, so we've got stuff to build and do. So we've got the what's called creels, or the crab pods from Scale Model Scenery, along with the barn to build at some point as well. Selection of points, switches for the DCC, for the Colbert point motors, people and all sorts up there. So I live in the middle of nowhere, so it's always handy to have stock. Obviously little figures there from Model U to paint as well at some point. So that's I think that's pretty much this shed done. I think there's much else in the workshop now ready to sort of show you about. But yeah, it's to me this is my happy place anyway. This is definitely. There is one more place which I'll take you through to now, which is the original pump house for this. So originally there was just this brick building here, which I think is like 9 by 10 square. So not an overly massively building. It's quite cold in there. It is cavity, but it's not insulated, so it's quite cold. Concrete roof and all. So this was the pumping house. So our houses run off a bore, which is in our garden, and there was a pumping station which pumped the water to the houses. They did away with it, put us on the mains, and basically give this building to our property. So I've used it now as my cutting shed, really. And so anything big, sawing or anything like that, or anything happens on this bench here. So it all works out quite nice. Keeps the mess out of the workshop and into here really. So yeah, that's Kev. So I do World War II military stuff. So this is my military bits and bobs. So we are going for the full tour. I think we are. This is the pumping gear that was left over from years gone by. Obviously it's all dead now, so but it's just quite a cool feature in the pump house. All sorts, rabbit food, but yeah, we've got all proper man cave. I think it is. My wife, she's pretty good about it. She doesn't mind. But I really enjoyed the tour. So there'll be more things to follow this week. This week's just been a bit of a long week, really. I think it was such an intense week last week. I think it's just nice to take a step back and just regather your thoughts, have a bit of a tidy up and start again. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully this is alright for you. Cheers, bye.